Trey Dugan, far side of the field, number 23, Shane Bashir. First and 10 for the Cobras. Tackle was the number 20, Jamone Johnson. First and 10 for the Cobras. Put the ball in play on their own 32-yard line. The number 50, Miles McCollum. Gain of 4 will be second and 6. Ball carrier was number 8, John Oxford. Gain of 1 will be second and 9, ball on the 34-yard line. Have a flag on the play. Penalty against the Cobras, all sides. Make it second and 14. We'll make it third and 14. Ball carrier was number 8, John Oxford. Tackle was made with number 89, Matthew Ponder. Bring up fourth down. Ball down the 36-yard line. It is 4th and 16. Back to punt will be number 40, Trey Dugan. Back to receive is number 2, Willie Scott. Ball will be down on the 46-yard line. It will be first and 10 for the Scrappers. Timeout for measurement. Ball carrier was number 44, Charles Green. First down for Scrappers.
And he's finally hemmed up and run out of bounds over there across the way. We'll wait till we get the spot, and it'll be somewhere around the 34-yard line, I believe. Mark at the 33-yard line. So Fountain Lake will take over for their second offensive possession of the night, with the ball placed on the left hash mark for the Cobras. Scrappers leading 8-0 over a big run by Charles Green. Great blocking up front by the Scrappers. Lone setback is going to be Ochsner. Trips to the right. Wants to throw. Run. Up by the quarterback on the sneak, and he's just scrambled out of there. All of his receivers were covered. Wanted to throw it, but he had to tuck it under and get upfield before he was going to be sacked. But he got fairly decent yardage all the way out to about the 41-yard line. So very good gain by the quarterback, well, let me see. That's Castleberry. Rick knew who it was. He pointed that out right quick. So Castleberry has him up the line of scrimmage. And he'll send his wing in motion to his right. Handoff. No, it's the option. He'll pitch it out. Scrappers after him. He'll try to turn the corner. Thrown for a loss. Back at the 39-yard line. Chris Benson on the play, along with McCullough. But Benson got him first, and Gary Graham came out there also. So they're going to throw him for about a 2-yard loss on the play. Instead of 2nd and 2, they run the play. It's going to be 3rd and about 4 now. Great pursuit by the Scrappers as they try the option to the right side. Ball is on the right hash mark now. at the 39. Handoff. First man through, or second man is going to be Ochsner, and boy, he's just piling for yardage. He may have gotten the first down. I mean, a big old offensive line by the Fountain Lake Cobras. I mean, they're big, and they're going to have to unpile them, and I think he's going to have enough for the first down. It just, of course, depends upon the spot. They may want to take a look at it. Timeout on the field for a measurement. Scrappers leading 8-0 over the Fountain Lake Cobras. 6 minutes and 59 seconds left in the first. We'll be back in a moment. On the right hash mark at the Cobra 43-yard line. I formation. Scrappers jump. They may call offsides against the Scrappers. Scrappers doing a little shifting. Someone got his head across that imaginary or real line, I guess you would call it there, of the line of scrimmage. And mark off 5 yards against the Scrappers. Well, the stats are going to be a little helter-skelter here tonight, aren't they, Rick? And needless to say, they will not be accurate, because we've already had a couple of possessions by Fountain Lake, actually in their second possession, Scrappers with 1, and we're just now getting ready for stats. 1st and 5 now for the Cobras from the 48. Handoff, Ochsner up the middle. Met at the line of scrimmage. He'll go down at midfield. Good, hard tackle that time, and let's see who it was. I think it was going to be Benson. No, excuse me, that's Travell Green. Travell Green really just threw him down. He'll pick up about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Right on the midfield stripe. Scrappers here with 6:05 and counting left in the first period, leading 8-0. Scrappers, as you will be told several times tonight, I'm sure, need to win this game by 8 so the Scrappers could play at home next week. Ball on the right hash mark. I formation, split in to the left. Once on the delay, he met in the backfield. Ochsner's going to be thrown back. They'll mark him back at about the 46, and the Scrappers finally nail him all the way back at the 40, but they'll give him progress at least to the 46. So there's nearly a 4-yard loss on that play. So the Scrappers now, defense, that Orange Crush defense, starting to really heat it up. They're getting into that time of year they really like, and that is the post-season play. And Scrappers looking around, waiting for the Cobras to break huddle. They'll send their split into the left side. And they'll have a slot left. Ball on the right hash mark again. Have a wing over there on that left side also. Castleberry wants to throw. Throws it back against the grain. Incomplete as they trying a play on the misdirection. A little pass out in the flat on the right side. The flow of the play went to the left. And he tried to throw it to number 42, Casey Ford. And it goes incomplete. Had him out there, he could have got a little bit of yardage. Travell Green was the only defender back, and he's about 15 yards away, but he had a blocker out there also. So Dugan will come in to punt it away, standing on his own 33-yard line. It'll be 2 safeties back for the Scrappers. It'll be Benson and Scott. And it's a high kick, very high kick. Scrappers will have to let it go. It'll take a Scrapper bounce back upfield to about the 38-yard line. So the Scrappers will take over for their second offensive possession of the night.
16 yards on the punt, no return there, Charles. And looks like coming in, Scrappers getting a good lead early here, 8-0. And I'm just getting to join in and see what's going on in the ball game.
Well, Rick's been doing a little work, folks. He's been over here, and he's been a little frustrated, but I believe he's calmed down a little bit now. Scrappers a great drive on that first one. 54 yards on the drive it went, capped by a big run by Green. Scrappers now 1st down, ball on the right hash mark, slot left. Corey Smith in motion to his left. Ball's on the ground, and Green just took his eyes off of it. It was a toss sweep, Charles Green, and the toss was there, and just mishandled the toss. Looked like he had some room, Rick. I thought Green was going to pick up excellent yardage, but nevertheless, he just fell on it back at the 31. So big loss on the play. It's going to be 2nd down about 18 yards to go now for the Scrappers. Ball right in the middle of the field. Andy McCauley has him at the line of scrimmage. Scott, Howard, and Charles, excuse me, that's going to be McFadden in the slot left. And I think we're going to have another penalty. We're waiting for the officials here. They blew the whistle. We may have had an infraction by the Scrappers. I think so. May have been a dead ball or delay of game. No, offsides. Well, we've had both offenses now, Rick, offsides once. So somebody lining up offsides. They really need to watch those officials. They'll put that foot right on the line, and if you cross it, you're offsides. So now it is second down, about 23 yards to go, back at the 26-yard line. Howard to the right, ball right in the middle of the field, and we'll have trips right. That'll be McFadden, Scott, and Howard. Wants to throw, throws it out, screen to Charles Green, 30, 35, 40, outside the 40, 45, 47-yard line. Little shy of the first down by maybe a yard. Great screen. They showed it right, screened it back to the left, and Charles Green with great running for the Scrappers. So it'll bring up third down now for the Scrappers and about 2 yards to go. Ball is placed on the left hash mark for the Scrappers. Moving, I believe that is south to north, Rick. Is that right? Rick won't even say anything.
I'll agree with you.
Okay, split backs. Two tight ends for the Scrappers. Handoff. McFadden, first down, thrown back as he gets to the midfield stride, but it's nevertheless, it's a first down for the Scrappers, just shy of the midfield stride. Boy, the Scrappers had to make up big yardage there. It was 2nd and 23 back at their own, I forgot where it was, about the 26-yard line, I guess it was. And here they're up now with a first down with the ball resting just shy of the midfield stripe. Scrappers leading 8-0. Pope getting his play from Coach Laird, and if you've noticed any of the games you've been to, he's going over and getting the play from Coach Laird. Coach Laird trying to make it as easy as possible on this team. The Scrappers are going to have to call time out because the clock had got down to 2 seconds and they had just broke the huddle. So timeout on the field called by the Scrappers. Heads up play by McFadden that time, Rick, to see that. So there is a timeout on the field. Scrappers leading 8-0, and we'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Scrapper Football. Leading 8-0 here with about 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first period. First down for the Scrappers, just shy of the midfield stripe. Ball just inside the left hash mark. McFadden and Charles Green the setbacks. Scott split to the left side as a flanker. He'll go in motion now to his right. Scrappers want to throw. Pope looks, fires it downfield. Complete to Westfall, I believe it is, as he gets inside the 20. And we'll mark him at about the 19, I believe, is where they're going to have it. I believe that was Andrew Westfall, Rick. Am I right?
It was number 85.
Yeah, okay. Well, that kind of surprised me. Old Terminator getting in there on the offense now. Oh, Terminator is offensive. I'll have to admit that. Ball is on the right hash mark. First down, Scrappers at the 19-yard line of the Fountain Lake Cobras. It's an I formation. McFadden dots the I. Scott to the left. Pope, toss sweep. McFadden to the left. Cuts back, 19. Inside the 15. Fights for a little bit more, and he'll get to about the 14-yard line before he's finally brought down by a host of Fountain Lake Cobras. And it looks like Bassett leading the charge there for the Fountain Lake Cobras.
Michael McFadden.
McFadden picks up excellent yardage, about 7 on the play. We'll call it second down and 3. A long 3 for the Scrappers at the Cobra 14. Ball is now on the left hash mark. Scrappers moving right to left on your radio dial, if that helps you any. 1:45 left here in the first period. 8-0 Scrappers. Split backs. Scott to the left. Handoff. Charles Green, 10. Inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. Boy, that offensive line is doing a job tonight. What a job by the Scrapper offensive line. Up front for the Scrappers, it's Corey Smith, the tight end. Matt Smith at tackle. Julian Burchett, the other tackle. Nick Reeves at a tackle. Andy McCauley, the center. The other guard is Michael Block, and they have blocked very well tonight. First and goal, Scrappers from the 6. Ball is just inside the left hash mark. Scott to the left. The backs are split. Pope, handoff. McFadden. Ball on the ground, and the Cobras are going to pick it up. Scrappers are going to have to catch him, and I don't know if they can or not. They do at the 40-yard line. Corey Smith ran him down from behind. Oh, me, we've been there before, haven't we?
We see the
Scrappers, I think, got the ball back, did they not? They were pointing that way. Evidently not. It was just a mistake by the officials. Well, we've been there, and we've done that numerous times. First down for the Cobras. They get a break on the Scrapper fumble inside the 10. Mark at the 41-yard line of Fountain Lake. Boy, we were lucky to run him down. I believe that was going to be Dugan that picked that one up. It'll be the misdirection play. Ball's on the ground, and Castleberry will pick it up, and it'll be thrown for a loss. All the way back inside the 35 at the 33. Scrappers just really came in there and broke that play up. They were trying a little misdirection play, it looked like, Rick, but nevertheless, it did not work. It's about a 10-yard loss on that play. I'm going to call it 2nd and 19 back at the 33.
18.
So Scrappers had a chance to put more points on the board, and again inside the 10, we cough it up. And let's see, ball just inside the right hash mark. Oxner, the lone setback, trips to the right. Castleberry wants to throw, throws it out in a hurry and misses his man. Had a man open. It was Drew Oxner at about the 38-yard line and just missed him. Scrappers had somebody over there, but nevertheless, the man was open. Could have picked up at least 5 or 6, 7 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 19 for the Cobras back at their own 33. This is the team that you will recall beat DeQueen. So they've got some talent. Not real flashy, but they've got some talent. Got some big old boys up front. And when I say big, folks, I do mean big. And I'll give you one up here in just a minute. And I think they're going to have to call a timeout. Timeout by the Cobras. They're about to run out. The play clock was just about to go to 0. They had to call timeout. So with only 26 seconds left in the first period, Scrappers leading 8-0. There's a timeout on the field. You're listening to Scrapper Football. Leading 8-0. Scrappers going for a score. Cough it up at about the 5. And Corey Smith was able to catch Trey Dugan at about the 41-yard line of Fountain Lake. And now the Fountain Lake Cobras have gone backwards on a couple of plays. Scrappers need to stop them, get the ball back, and the Scrappers need to start putting some points on the board. We're going to have to start protecting the football. We need to wrap it up. You can't hold that thing out there. You got to, when you're down there in scoring territory, that thing is so precious, you need to wrap it up very well. So here we go, big 3rd down play, lone setback, trips to the right again. John Oxner, the lone setback. Castleberry wants to throw, looks, throws it, fly pattern out there, got a chance. Good play by D. Benson. Tight coverage by White, but D. Benson kind of playing center field, intended for Trey Dugan at the Scrapper 45, but it goes incomplete. The ball was just right, almost right on the money. But White had good coverage. If it had been a little underneath, White might have had a chance to intercept it, but I thought Benson was going to have a chance also. It'll bring up 4th down, and Dugan, he's been kicking it really high, and there's been no chance for a return. There's a high snap. Dugan will come down with it, almost blocked, and he goes kind of off the side of the foot. And boy, I'll tell you what, Willie Scott wanted to feel that ball on the bounce, but there were 3 Cobras right there, and it'll roll dead at the 38-yard line.
Got a pretty good roll out of that. 29 yards on the punt, no return. And Charles, once again, Willie did want to, but he stepped in there, but a bounce just didn't go his way, and he didn't feel good about picking it up.
Well, I'm glad he didn't. It might have backfired. We don't need any more backfires. We need to start hitting on all cylinders. Ball on the left hash mark. It'll be Scott and Howard to the right. The wide side of the field. The lone setback is going to be McFadden. Westfall looks, screen. Willie Scott is going to drop it. They call it incomplete. Little flanker screen out there to Willie Scott. Hit him right in the midsection, and it came out. Might have took his eyes off of it. You won't see him do that very much. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. And actually, well, I don't know what the officials did. They called incomplete, and they've got the down marker about a half a yard behind the 1st down marker.
I looked up and noticed that too, Charles.
I don't understand that.
That was incomplete.
I think what it is where the official placed the ball down. He didn't place it back down in the right spot. Here we go, I formation, slot right. Pope on the delay. McFadden got both hands on that ball this time, and he'll get across the 40 to about the 42. A little shy, I think, of the 43, very close to it. And that's going to bring up 3rd down now for the Scrappers. And that is the end of the first period. After 1 period of play, the Scrappers lead 8-0 over the Fountain Lake Cobras. We'll be back with the 2nd period right after these messages. Well, if you happen to be watching the replay on TV and they show you the score, it shows 8-8. That is not correct. The middle segment on that scoreboard for the home team will not go out, so it looks like 8-8 when in fact it is 8-0 Scrappers. So here we go. 3rd down, about 7 for the Scrappers at the Scrapper 42-yard line. And the ball is on the left hash mark. Lone setback is Charles Green, trips right. Pope up under center, wants to throw. Tucks it under. Heads upfield on the scramble. 1st down across midfield by Pope. What a run by Brian Pope to pick up the 1st down at the 48-yard line.
Tucked the ball under, just went straight up the middle there, Charles. It was wide open. A good run. What a confidence builder. Gets him ready to go into the playoffs.
That is the 48-yard line of the Cobras.
About a 10-yard run for Pope.
And it looks like Green is coming out for a moment. And I'm not sure who came in for him. I didn't quite catch it. But 1st down Scrappers at the 48-yard line of the Cobras. McFadden, the lone setback. Split in to the left, slot right for the Scrappers. That's Scott as the split in. There's a fly pattern. It's going to be overthrown, intended for Howard. And it went to about the 20. It didn't look like Howard was making a break on that. I guess he knew it was going to be overthrown. And he ran downfield looking at it, but really never made a move on the ball. Good coverage back there by number 44, Gardner.
And that time Van Easler came in and hit Pope just as he released the ball. Pope had no chance to see what the end of that play looked like.
And we're having a...
Against Nashville.
The Scrappers have a penalty. I didn't see what it was. I think we had probably an illegal receiver downfield, I think. So take the play off. It'll be 1st and 15. Move it back to the 47-yard line of Nashville. So again, the ball on the left hash mark. Slot, or trips rather, to the right. Handoff on the delay, up the middle, 45-yard line. Big run up the middle that time. It looked like that was Charles Green that came back in. They're going to mark him right on the 45-yard line. So that's a good run of about 8 yards on the carry. Almost 9 yards, Rick. We're going to give him 8, though. We'll call it 2nd down and 7 for the Scrappers. Ball just shy of the 45. And I mean just shy of the 45. 10 minutes, 52 seconds left here in the first half. Scrappers leading 8-0. Ball just inside the left hash mark. Slot right, split backs now. Pope up under center. Again on the delay. Charles Green gets to the outside. Breaks a tackle. 40. Inside the 40. Close to another Scrapper. First down at about the 39. Good hard running by Charles Green, Rick. I think he's going to be just a little bit shy of that first down. It depends on where they mark him as he went out of bounds over there. But nevertheless, Scrappers have 3rd and inches is what it will be with the ball on that left hash mark. We'll call it 3rd and a yard, but it's actually 3rd and about a foot and a half. Scrappers need to get down there. They were down there a moment ago, ready to put more points on the boards, coughed it up, and it nearly backfired and went almost all the way for another score. Good saving tackle by Corey Smith. Handoff. Charles Green again. Big hole again by Green, and he goes over the 35 to the 32-yard line. Well, I'll tell you what, Matt Smith and Nick Reeves really opening some holes over on that left side of that offensive line of the Scrappers. I mean, they have been opening some gaping holes over there. Good job by Smith and Reeves. And I think Corey Smith also lined up at tight end over there. He is. Corey Smith also blocking on that play. Split backs again, slot right, ball on the left hash mark. Handoff again. This is McFadden, cuts back inside the 40, trying to gain more yardage. And he'll get to about the 26-yard line. Throw him back at about the 27. We'll call it the 27-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down there at the 27-yard line, about 2nd and about 7.
Ball on the 27-yard line.
Ball just inside that left hash mark. 9:44 and counting left here in the first half of play. 8-0 Scrappers. Slot to the wide right side of the field. The backs are split again. The play clock is down to 1. I don't know if they got it off. I guess they did. It's going to be the screen to McFadden. 30. 25. Boy, he is just pounded. He is just knocked back. In fact, he got forward progress again, Rick, to about the 26. Knocked him back to the 27. And would you believe that's where they're going to mark it? These officials kind of must be the same ones we had last week. We'd had the same thing going on last week. Rick's still having a little technical trouble over there, so if I'm cutting in and out, you'll know what it is. So it'll be 3rd down now, and about 6 yards to go for the Scrappers. Got about a yard out of that. Ball on that right hash mark now. It'll be Scott and Howard to the left, split backs. And the Scrappers did not get the play off, I don't think. For some reason, we're having trouble getting the plays in and quite as quick as what we have been, and I think we're going to have a delay of game against the Scrappers here. Waiting for the officials. Dead ball. Offsides, they say. Who in the world is lining up offsides? That's 2 of those. We've been prone to do that this year, offensively and defensively. I've seen a lot more of that this year on several teams. Even had one against Fountain Lake here tonight. It'll be 3rd down and about 11 now with the ball placed back at the 32-yard line. Slot to the left side. Pope wants to throw. Got a little pressure. Throws it downfield. Corey Smith. He's at the 20, and he's going to be down right at the 1st down marker. It just depends on the spot. And I can guarantee if it's not a 1st down, Coach Laird will go for it. I think it's very close to that 1st down marker. He didn't get a great spot, but nevertheless, they're going to mark him about the 21. It's a timeout on the field for a measurement. 8:20 left in the first half of play. Scrappers leading 8-0. We'll be back in a moment. up for a first down, and the Scrappers now first down at the 21-yard line of the Cobras. Scrappers have been pretty impressive tonight on offense, leading 8-0, and had one other opportunity but fumbled it away. This is another good drive. Split back, slot right. Pope wants to throw, rolls to his left. Heavy pressure, thrown for a loss. He should have got rid of it, but he just couldn't, just wasn't able to do it. Big loss on the play. Mason Tillery came in and threw him for a loss back at the 34-yard line. Somebody was let him loose over there, and big play by Tillery. And in fact, I thought Pope was hurt for a moment, but I guess not. I guess he was tying his shoe over there. So Pope has the play, and he'll come in. It'll be second and about 23 now, back at the 20, we'll call it the 23. Ball on the left hash mark. Slot right, split backs. Pope up under center. Wants to throw again. Throws it out. That'll be to on the flanker screen. Scott, 25-20, and flies in the air across the 20-yard line to about the 19-yard line. And coming up to make the tackle was, I believe that's Palmer. I think that's who that is. That young man is not on the sheet. That's number 30. He's not on my sheet. So, I guess number 30, you made a tackle. Don't know your name. Third down and about 8 yards to go for the Scrappers, just inside the 20. I'm calling it the 19-yard line. Charles Green goes out. We'll have a lone setback. It'll be McFadden. It'll be Pope left, slot right. And Brian Pope wants to throw, fires it downfield, and I think it's intercepted at the 1. Oh, man, intercepted by Garner at the 1. Mike Garner. Okay. Scrappers had the big play there and thrown for a big loss, and then the Scrappers being forced a little bit, just missed Willie Scott. If it hit Willie in stride, Rick, it'd have been a quick 6 right there. Just let him a little too much. That's a good interception by Garner at the 1-yard line.
Well, what Fountain Lake did there, Charles, they kept prevented from having any points given up that time. That's a good defensive play, but boy, getting set at your own 1-yard line and against this tough Scrapper defense.
Well, that's better than the Scrapper scoring for Fountain Lake, however. Anyway, here we go. Auctioner, the lone setback. And they don't have the chain set over there. Somebody not quite Johnny on the spot here. All right, here we go. Handoff, quarterback sneak, and he picks up good yardage out to the 6-yard line. And maybe a little bit more than that. I'm going to call it the 6. A good 5-yard gain that time by Castleberry, the quarterback. I'm going to give him 6, Rick. Let's give it the 7-yard line. It'll be second down about 4. Caught the Scrappers off guard a little bit then with the quarterback sneak. Nate Steele in at defensive end on the right side for the Scrappers. Handoff, second man. Auctioner hitting the backfield, spins, but he's not going to gain a thing. Several Scrappers hit him. A big pile of white jerseys down there. Warren, McCullough, Graham, Terminator. Tell you a little story about the Terminator. I went into Big T the other night to order me a sandwich, and Terminator's sister was in there, and she waited on me. And I asked her, I said, if Andrew is the Terminator, what are you called? And she said, I'm Speedy. I'll tell you the rest of that in a moment. So here we go. Third down, about 3. Handoff, Auctioner again. Got him a first down, I think. No, it shouldn't be. A little shy of that. He was tackled before he even got to the 9. Got to get to the 11 to pick up a first down, so it's going to be 4th down now. Well, anyway, and the reason she says that, she is one fine little track athlete. She's a sophomore at Nashville, and she's told me she's going to set a state record in the 800 meters. So y'all write that down. She told me I could quote her on that. So now she's locked in. She's got to do it. Okay, waiting the punt from Dugan. Oh, there was movement in the offensive line. Boy, high snap, and it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a safety. A 2-point safety for the Scrappers against the Fountain Lake Cobras. Snapped it over his head, and the Cobras will have to punt it or kick it from the 20. So the Scrappers get 2. It'll be 10-0 Scrappers with 4:37 left here in the first half. We'll be back in just a moment. We're almost winded. We were just talking while we were off the air here, and all these technical troubles we've had, and Rick's had me running up and down these stairs, folks, and I think I just can't do that much.
Now, wait a minute. Technically, you were going to get a program, and you were going to
get your hamburger. Your hamburger.
It's not been a good start to it, but we're settled down now.
We're hanging in there, folks.
One wire broke in the whole system tonight. That's what happened, Charles. Actually, we don't have a table or anything to work off of, so we've got a lot of equipment stacked up over here. It fell apart one time, and one wire broke, and that hindered everything from getting on the air.
Okay, looks like they're going to kick it, not punt it. And it's number 21, Castleberry.
You know, I got to say this much. You talk about technical troubles. I don't think Fred Hines is going to come back up here with us again. Every time he's come up here, we've had to call on him to help us out. He's helped a lot tonight.
We can't make the trip without Fred, though. I'll tell you. Fred knows his business. Okay, here we go. Castleberry ready to kick it from the 20. There's a high kick. It will be taken by Scott at the 34, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. 435, and finally hemmed in there at the 35, and he gets forward all the way to about the 31-yard line of the Fountain Lake Cobras. I'll tell you what, you don't want that young man getting loose. He can fly. It just kind of got stopped up over there in heavy traffic, Rick. And the Scrappers in business at the Fountain Lake 31, leading 10-0 over the Cobras. And as you will recall, as we've mentioned, Scrappers need to win by 8, and they'll be at home next week in the first round of the AAA playoffs. And that is real good news to me and Rick, because the alternative to that is drive a long way over to Rivercrest or Gosnell, whoever wins that game tonight. Anyway, there's the flanker screen. Scott caught it and put his knee down. Oh, boy. It was a little bit low, and he just cradled it in for a loss on the play, and he knew it just as soon as he caught it. It's about a 3-yard loss or so. Let's give him 4 on it, Rick. So that is a loss on the play by the Scrappers. It'll bring up second down, about 14 yards to go now for the Scrappers. And Pope has the play from Coach Laird. I'll tell you what, this play clock's running down. Scrappers break the huddle. 5-4. They're going to have to hurry. 3, 2, 1. And they just barely got it off. Inside and out, they didn't get it off. We're going to have to speed that up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have to be a little quicker.
Well, it's all the way across the way. It's over on our near hash mark, and he had to go all the way to the sideline, so it took a little bit longer. I'm not sure they were really set when that play started.
No, they were not really set. Illegal procedure is going to be called against the Scrappers. It's just simply because they were hurrying. And normally we signal the plays in, but we've had some confusion there, and Coach Laird's just gone to this system. Instead of running a player in and out and bringing the play in, he's having Brian Pope go over and get the play from him. So this time we've got plenty of time. Ball on the right hash mark. Split back, slot left. Pope drops, rolls, wants to look. Downfield, intended for Scott. Complete, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Willie Scott! Oh, ball right on the money from Pope. Right on the money. Perfect strike from Pope to Scott.
That's going to cover 39 yards for that touchdown. Willie now with 3 receptions that I've got for 49 yards. And some of my stats did miss that first drive.
And it comes with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second period. Scrappers on the board again. And Stony Ray will come in to attempt the point after. Jason Pope to hold. Nate Steele, your Scrapper snapper. Awaiting the snap. There it is. Placement down. Kick is up. Looks good from here. And it is. And the Scrappers now lead 17-0 over the Fountain Lake Cobras. 3:25 left in the half. We'll be back with the Scrapper kickoff in a moment. You're listening to Scrapper Football. tell you, it's mass confusion up here in the deer stand here and Fountain Lake, but we're making it. Honestly, we are. Cliff right in front of us there, he's all in the bushes down there and trying to camouflage himself so he can't be seen. He's doing a real good job.
He could roll down that hill if he made one step too far. He could roll down that
hill real easy, but there's a big iron bar there that'll catch him, Rick. He can't go real far. Anyway, here we go. Scrappers kicking north to south. That's left to right on your radio dial, so watch it as he kicks it. And here's Stoney with the approach from the left hash mark. High kick. And it will be taken at the 16-yard line. Back to the 20, 25. Boy, he is hit at the 25-yard line. They'll mark at the 26, but somebody laid a lick on him right there. So Cobras will take over for their 5th offensive possession of this half. And down by 17 to nothing. Scrappers. And as you will have heard, I guess, Prescott defeated Fordyce last night 12 to nothing to win the conference championship outright. And the Scrappers, if they can win this game by 8, they're in the number 2 seed spot. Trips to the left. Lone setback is Oxner. Wants to throw it. Quickie. And boy, he threw it out there, but he's not very accurate right now on his passes intended for Shane Beshears. And it goes incomplete. 2nd down and 10. I don't know if y'all are getting a little hum, but I'm getting a lot of static, so if there is, we'll have it corrected for you in a little bit.
I think it's just between your ears.
No, Rick, what is there at the moment is what you have placed there.
A lot of turbulence.
A lot of turbulence, folks. Ball is on the right hash mark, 26-yard line. 2nd and 10 for the Cobras. Flanker right, split in left, I formation. Castleberry wants to throw again on the screen. Ball batted up in the air, and nobody there for the Scrappers to have a chance to get it. They were trying to try the screen to Oxner, John Oxner, the tailback, and somebody got a hand on it, or he just missed it, and it went straight up in the air. Up there for a while, hanging around. Somebody would have had a chance on that, but unfortunately for the Scrappers, nobody was near that. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now from the 26-yard line. Clock stops on the incompletion. 3:11 left in the half. 17-0. Scrappers. Eddie Cobb, are you listening? I'm giving the score. He got on to me, folks. I just want you to know that, so I'm giving the score just as often as I can. Timeout by the Cobras. 3:11 left in the half. 17-0 Scrappers. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Scrapper Football. Scrappers leading 17-0, and it'll be 3rd down now for the Cobras and 10 from their own 26-yard line. 3:11 left in the half. If the Scrappers can hold them here, they'd have, I think, decent field position again. And Scrappers have really moved the ball well. 2-play drive a moment ago after that safety. Scrappers return it. Great return by Willie Scott all the way to the Cobra 31. 2-play drive. 39-yard pass from Pope to Willie Scott for the score. PAT by Stoney Ray. Here we go. Split backs now. And they'll want to try the halfback pass. Oh, and he's going to be a great tackle. He was tripped, and he goes down. Gary Graham, I think, got him by the foot or tripped his foot. And finally coming in also
Isaac King.
Isaac King, yeah, 33. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, those white jerseys out there and those orange numerals, which are not real bright. For some of you, they may be. For me, they're not. So, here we go. Punting time again for the Cobras with Dugan standing on his own 3. Scott in single safety back at the Fountain Lake 48. He's been kicking them awfully high. Boy, another high snap, and this one's going out of the end zone. And, boy, I'll tell you what, he just kicked the ball, and if it had been in bounds, we might have had one of those other. Boy, he is hot. I mean, he threw that ball all the way to the coach on the sidelines down at the 30. I mean, Dugan is hot. Another safety. Oh boy, Scrappers get another freebie here. That comes with 2:27 left in the half, and the Scrappers get another 2. That makes it 19-0. And they will be kicking it once again. And I know Fountain Lake coaches are not feeling real well at the moment. Things are not going well for the Cobras, and 4 points of it has been their own fault with bad snaps on the punts. So Chris Castleberry, quarterback, kicker, and what else? I don't know. But at least he's going to tee it up and kick it again. Last time Willie, he did a pretty good job kicking it a moment ago. And Willie fielded that thing at about the 36, I think it was, and returned it all the way to the Fountain Lake 31. So he probably don't want him to handle it, but Benson can do it, and so can McFadden. So triple threats back there. And this time he's going to squib it down the field. And I believe Willie will pick it up at the 29, 30, 20, 35. Tries to cut back upfield, cuts outside. Decent block over there. 40, 50, still on his feet. Midfield into the 46-yard line. Great return by Willie Scott. And I'll tell you what, there was a good job of avoiding some clips also by the Scrappers. They'd make a block and then they'd turn around and try to make a tackle. And I'll tell you, good job by the Scrappers in on the return all the way to, we're going to call it the 47-yard line of the Cobras.
I saw Fountain Lake roll off a couple of those blocks, as you mentioned, Charles. They spun back looking for the to make the tackle on Scott. He was already gone.
Ball on the left hash mark. And in motion, we'll go McFadden to his right out of the slot. Pope wants to throw it. There's the incomplete. Intended the flanker screen this time to Howard, and it goes incomplete. And I'll tell you what, Brian Pope hit very hard just as he released the ball that time. That'll go incomplete, as I said. 2:10 left in the half now with the clock stopping with the incompletion. Ball is on the left hash mark for the Scrappers, leading 19-0. 2 safeties. Tonight, bad snaps on punts by the Cobras, and the Scrappers taking advantage of those. Split backs now for the Scrappers. Slot right, 2nd and 10 from the 47. Toss sweep. That'll be McFadden. Got a little blocking out there. Turns the corner. Oh, Oxner. We missed a block over there. And I'll tell you what, McFadden tried to cut to the outside. We missed a block on Oxner, or McFadden would have picked up some yardage then. He got to the 44-yard line. Good job by Oxner to make that play on McFadden. So it'll bring up 3rd down now, and about 8 yards to go for the Scrappers, maybe a little less than 8. Ball is now on the right hash mark. Trips to the left. Lone setback is going to be Charles Green. And Pope wants to throw again. Screens it to Green. He'll try to get a block out there. Cuts upfield, and he's not going to get the first down. He'll get to about the 40. Clock running. 1:22 left in the half. Scrappers, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go for it right here, Rick. I think Coach Laird probably feeling very comfortable with his defense right now. And the way the offense has been going, I think he's feeling awfully well. Looks like that's what he's going to do. 4th down and about 4 yards to go for the Scrappers, with the ball just a little shy of the Fountain Lake 40. Split backs. Scott left, Howard right. Pope up under center. Wants to throw it. Throws it out to Howard. First down. Much a little stutter step move, and another one inside the 30 to the 28. Oh, what a move. 2 of them by Howard. Caught it. Little shifted his feet backwards, and the guy came by him, moved up a couple of yards, did the same thing again, picked up a little bit more, and finally hit from behind. But, however, there's going to be a penalty against the Scrappers. I didn't see the flag.
That play would have picked up about 12 yards, and a good job by Howard sidestepping a couple of different people there.
Holding against the Scrappers. Well, 46 seconds on the clock. That moves it back to the, let's see, 49-yard line of the Cobras, and I think they'll punt it. I don't know. Don't look like it. Scrappers are indeed going to go for it at midfield. 4th and about 12 from the Fountain Lake 49 now. Slot to the right. Pope again wants to throw. Throws it out to Howard. Intercepted. 40, 45, 50, 40, 30. And run out of bounds at the 20. And going for it, backfires on the Scrappers. Down at the 20, Fountain Lake. Great interception. Another one by the same player, Garner. Mike Garner on the interception. And mark it at the 21-yard line. All right. Scrappers leading 19-0. They certainly don't need to give up any points at all. 31 seconds now left in the half. Slot right. Auctioner, the lone setback. Castleberry up under center. Wants to throw. Looks. Pressure. Throws it. Incomplete. Tried that little screen left again with the flow of the play going to the right. Boy, he was really hit when he released it. Did you feel it,
I
Rick?
felt it. That was Isaac King in there putting that hit on him, too.
And the intended receiver was Ford, Casey Ford. And they've tried that a couple of times. It's a little, I guess you can call it a misdirection screen with the flow of the play going right and coming back to the left with the screen. It'll bring up second down. 28 seconds left in the half at the Scrapper 21. Again, ball on that left hash mark, slot right. Again, Auctioner, the lone setback, also have a wing on that right side. Again, Castleberry wants to throw. Throws it out. Complete to the 20, and that's all. Good defensive play by Travell Green. He caught it, and he's down at the 20. Clock still running, 17-16. I don't know if they have any timeouts left, but I haven't seen them call one. Maybe they don't. Clock still running, 11-10. 9. I'm not sure they're even going to get a playoff, Rick.
Gain of 1 will be third.
They may want to go for the field goal here I think that's what they're actually going to do. They're going to call the timeout, and I guess that's probably what they're going to try. 4 seconds left on the clock. Scrappers leading 19-0. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, I'm assuming this is what the Fountain Lake Cobras are going to do because they're tying up the foot out there. And, hey, he's got a pretty good leg, Rick. He really does. That's Castleberry, Chris Castleberry. And it'll be a right to left angle. So the spot should be around the 27. So this is going to be a 37-yard attempt for Castleberry. And I really think he's got the leg, Rick, on the kicks a moment ago. He can really kick them. The holder is Drew Auctioner. There's the snap. It's a low one. Placement's down, and it's blocked. And the Scrappers are going to try to recover it or pick it up and go, but not going to happen. And they didn't even run any time off the clock. Oh, that should be the end of the half.
Charles had a low snap on that everything. They just didn't get that play off.
Well, now they run the clock. So the clock runs out. 19-0 Scrappers at the half. We'll be back with halftime in a moment. You're listening to Scrapper Football.
Into the first half, the score is Fountain Lake 0, Nashville 19.
try the onside kick, and it's a squibber. And it's going to go to Willie Scott, picked up at the 15. Boy, what a block. 20. Scott outside, 25, 30, still on his feet. Another block. Oh, great block on Castleberry. Scott's gone. He's going to go all the way. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Willie Scott. Somebody wiped out Castleberry at midfield. Oh, what a block. Great return, 85-yard kickoff return by Willie Scott. Boy, Rick, have you seen any better than that?
I'll tell you, every time that he gets his hand on the ball, he's not getting a chance to return many in this part of the season there, Charles. And you can tell he just wants to do it. Great blocking, though, Charles. And that one big block, that's what sprung it.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, he's feeling pretty good right now. Scrappers now up 25-0, waiting the point after by Stony Ray. Nate Steele to snap it, and Jason Pope to hold. There's the snap. The placement's down. The kick is up. And it looks good. And it is. And the Scrappers lead 26-0 here over the Fountain Lake Cobras. Back in just a moment. Well, Castleberry's over here on the sideline. He's the quarterback, and he's got his hands on his knees looking down at his toes, trying to count them, and he can't find them because they're in those shoes, and he thinks he's probably supposed to be able to see them. He's not feeling well. He's going to try to come back, I'm sure. I'm sure he's a gamer. You can tell he's a tough kid, but he got hammered over there on that right in front of the Scrapper bench at midfield. Stony Ray ready to kick it away. Ball is on the left hash mark. Kicking north to south, left to right on your radio dial. Stony about a 7-yard drop. Here's the approach by Stony Ray. He'll get it away. Scrapper's nearly offside on the kickoff. It'll bounce, hits him right there. Turns it upfield. Dugan on the return outside the 25 to about the 27. And that's where Fountain Lake will take over. And Rick, I've noticed since Stoney's backed up a little bit more, kicking it a little bit deeper, the opponents are not getting quite as good a field position. It seems like they're, most of them around between the 20 and 30, few of them outside the 30 on really good returns, but I'm glad to see that ball sailing down there, and Stoney's just trying something a little different. He'd been taking about a 3-step drop, and now he's going about 7, so really getting a toe into it. So here we go. Offset backs now by the Cobras, wing on the right. He'll go in motion to his left. Handoff on the misdirection play there by the Cobras. Carrying the ball is number 23, Shane Brashears. And he'll get to about the 31. I believe that was, let me see who that was. That was Travell Green in there on the tackle for the Scrappers. Jamal Maxwell also looked like he was in there. Scrappers may be running a few players in on defense now to rest a few of the normal starters. About a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. Handoff again, same play again, and he's trying to pick up yardage. He'll get 2 or 3 more yards, and just a host of Scrappers in there. Looks like Travell Green trying to jerk that ball out of there, and looks like, let's see, McCullough, Maxwell, and a couple of other Scrappers in on that play. It'll be 3rd down now, about 4 yards to go. Ball resting on the 34-yard line now for the Cobras. They'll send Garner to the left. Wing will set up on the right. Offset backs once again. Again, same play. And this time they're going to try the option, and Castleberry is just hemmed in. He couldn't go anywhere. Somebody had his legs, and I believe that's down there on the bottom of that pile is going to be Maxwell, who had a hold of his legs, and then a couple of other Scrappers came in. He was wanting to option it out, I think, with Brashears, but I tell you, Scrappers just playing that fast break defense, and boy, I really like that, Rick. I like to see that defense just taking it to the offense.
That was about 4-yard loss on that play. In the first half, Fountain Lake only had 13 yards rushing, 1 yard passing, 14 yards net total.
Well, here's an adventure, a good snap this time by the Cobras. High kick, and it's just barely, I don't know if it's going to go past the line of scrimmage. Scrappers let it go, and it bounces back upfield and does not even get past the first down marker. At the 37-yard line is where the Scrappers will take over. I don't know if they are so conscious of the fact that Scrappers have really good return people, or if that's just the way he's kicked. He's not kicked them very far. He's kicked them high, but not very far. Scrappers with great field position and leading 26-0 over the Cobras. Cobra 37-yard line it is. Split backs. Handoff right up the middle. Jamone Johnson, 30, fights for yardage to the 27-yard line. Boy, Jamone just running over players. What a run by Jamone Johnson. And they'll mark him, gonna mark him back at around the 28-yard line, or maybe just a little inside the 28. So it'll be second down, about 2 yards to go or less for the Scrappers, leading 26-0, 9:21 left here in the third period. It'll be Scott left, Howard right, split backs once again. Pope wants to throw, looks, fires it out, fly pattern, complete, touchdown, Scrappers to Willie Scott. Boy, that was a great play. Pope to Scott, ball right on the money. What a play, Rick. Oh, man, it couldn't be any better than that. 28-yard pass from Brian Pope to Willie Scott.
Scott really broke open, and Charles, as you mentioned, Pope did a great job laying that ball out there like that, and just a great connection for a 28-yard touchdown.
Two-play drive by the Scrappers, and Scrappers 2 quick scores, 32-0, awaiting the point after by Stony Ray. Pope to hold, awaiting the snap. There's the snap, the placement's down, the kick is up, looks good from here. They say it is, and the Scrappers now lead 33-0 over the Cobras. We'll be back with the Scrapper kickoff in a moment. You're listening to Scrapper Football.
Cobra Band is selling chances for a $100 gift certificate to Wellens Meat Market. $1 chances, proceeds go to raise money for the trip the band is taking to Washington, D.C. Kicking off will be number 70, Stony.
Scrapper score again. 2 quick scores by the Scrappers. A kickoff return by Willie Scott, 85 yards with 11:44 left in the third. And then the Scrappers hold, 3 and out for the Cobras. Kick it about 3 or 4 yards on the kick is all it really nets. Scrappers take over at the 37 of Fountain Lake. 2 plays, 28-yard pass from Brian Pope to Willie Scott. And both extra points by Stony Ray, 33-0 now, Scrappers. I'm hoping that the 8-point margin holds up, folks, and I feel pretty good about it right now, leading 33-0. I think all of you do too. There's a kickoff by Stony Ray, got a toe in it, taken at the 13. That's Dugan. Cutting across the field, cuts back upfield, cut down at the 24-yard line. And it looks, see, old Terminator in there for the Scrappers. He's everywhere, folks. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. We're feeling pretty good. I don't know about y'all. I've been doing pretty good. Rick's the one that's had a problem, folks. He's been over here, and
as of about an hour and a half ago, it wasn't much fun.
He has been scrambling. Mark at the 24. Fountain Lake 24. So it'll be first down. 9 minutes and 1 second left here in the third period. Scrappers leading 33-0. And Rick, we're going to have to get out our sheets because there's a lot of new people out there. A lot of them coming in. Here they go. Misdirection. Ball on the ground, and uh-oh. I think the Scrappers came up with it, but I tell you, Oxner just got leveled by Graham. And I thought they was going to call a penalty on Graham. I don't see a penalty flag, but McCullough recovers the fumble at the 22-yard line of the Cobras. Boy, Cobras just falling apart completely.
Yeah, wait a minute. They did drop a flag, Charles.
Yeah, okay. It was a late hit.
Personal foul against Nashville.
Personal foul against Graham, and a good call by the official. And it was just a reaction, Rick. And really, he was throwing a block. I'm trying to take up for him. It was just a reaction. And mark it now to the 37-yard line. So that's where the Scrappers will take over, leading 33-0. Pope is in at quarterback, slot left, split backs. Jamone Johnson and Travell Green. Travell Green gets the handoff. Big hole, 30, 25, 20. Inside the 20 and slung out of bounds across the way at about the, 17-yard line, I believe. Throwing him out was Palmer, Reuben Palmer. Let's see, I'm going to call it the 17-yard line of the Cobras. First down, Scrappers. And Scrappers going for more. Ball is on the left hash mark now. Scott, Howard, and Green in the slot on the right. Lone setback is Jamone. Delay to Jamone inside the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. Harden on the tackle for the Cobras. Well, they mark him back. They say his knee went down at about the 13-yard line, so wipe off a little bit of that, Rick. We'll give him 4. Second down and 6.
On the 14-yard line.
8 minutes and 24 seconds, and all of a sudden, floodgates have opened. Scrappers scoring at will almost. Scott left, Howard right, split backs, handoff, Jamone, big hole, 10, cuts back, 5, touchdown, Jamone Johnson. Over the left side behind Smith and Reeves and also Corey Smith.
Took them 3 plays to go 37 yards, Charles, and they're in for the score. That came on a 13-yard run by Johnson.
All right, and that comes with 8:06 left in the third. Scrappers on the board again, 39-0, awaiting the point after attempt by Stoney Ray. And Stoney getting that foot all fixed up. And again, Jason Pope to hold. Nate Steele to snap it. There's a snap, a high one. Pope comes down with it. He'll try to run with it and get outside. He's at the 5 and slung down at the 6. There's a couple of penalty flags. I think they got him by the face mask. And we'll see if that's what it is. Scrappers will have another opportunity. We're awaiting the official signal. And the official has his hat off, scratching his head. I don't know if that's a sign of trying to figure out what to do here or what. Maybe his head just itched, Rick. What do you think? We're killing time, folks, on the air. It's actually what we're doing.
He may be trying to figure out certain radio broadcaster.
Okay, they're, I guess, going to have to come over and explain it to the coaches. Face mask against
the Cobras, half the distance to the goal.
Half the distance to the goal. Oh, we got offsetting penalties. And then we've got a penalty after the...
One against Fountain Lake, one against Nashville.
All right. We've got 3 penalties, it looks like. I see 3 flags, so 2 against Fountain Lake, 1 against the Scrappers, it looked like. Personal foul against each one, and then, of course, the face mask penalty. So they're going to mark it down at the 3-yard line after all of that. And got a player coming in, and that is going to be Charles Green. Corey Smith goes out. And I think Corey Smith might have been in on a little bit of the altercation, but we're going to try the extra point again. It'll be a right to left angle now. And there's a snap. The placement's down. The kick is up, and I don't know. Yeah, got it. Just over the upright on the left side, goes in, and the Scrappers now lead 40-0 with 8:06 left in the third period. Back in a moment. Oh, man. Brent thinks he did a funny, folks. So
I
you
think
don't
he
get
got
to hear all
one.
the stuff that goes on.
I really think he got one on you.
He's rolling in the aisle back there at Nashville, and well, I tell you what, he thinks he's funny. But truthfully, folks, he's really not. So anyway, Stony Ray ready to kick it away. Ball on the left hash mark. 3-play drive, 37 yards, and that was Jamone Johnson on a 13-yard run, capping that drive for the Scrappers. Going after by Stony Ray. There's the kickoff, and it will be taken and returned across the 20. And Dugan gets it to about the 22, I believe, is where they'll finally mark it. And I know we're going to see some new players in there, I think. Not a lot, but a few are beginning to trickle in. Rusty Steele out there. And let's see, also Torrin Haney's in. Nate Steele, of course, he's been in there tonight. Torrin Haney will check out and pick up the receiver on the right. Looks like Benson's directing traffic out there a little bit. And I'll tell you, Nate Steele in pursuit of Castleberry, and Scrappers are going to run him down. Good job by Torrin Haney. Threw him for a loss. And Nate Steele come up to help finish him off. There's a Scrapper down. Looks like it's Don Warren. Back at about the 12-yard line. And Haney just ran him down. Haney's got that speed, but we got Don Warren down at the 12. 7:43 left in the third. Injured Scrapper. And it's 40-0. We'll be back in just a moment.
In for number 58, Don Warren.
Don Warren's up and off the field and feeling much better. Doesn't look like he's any worse for the experience. It was about a 6-yard loss on the play, so it'll bring up second down and about 16 yards to go back at the 16 for the Cobras, who have run into a buzzsaw tonight. Scrappers trying to get in postseason form here for the big run. Offset backs, wing right, handoff, Oxner. Picks up a couple out to about the 19-yard line, or may mark him back a little. We'll give him the 19. That'll bring up third down now. And about 13 yards to go for the Cobras. Host of Scrappers in there. Scrappers trying to filter a few players in. Of course, Jordan playing quite a bit. He's in at one cornerback spot for the Scrappers. And as I said, Rusty Steele out there at a monster position. Offset backs again in motion. There's movement. Let's see if it's on the Scrappers or on the Cobras. I think somebody on the Scrappers moved. When the wing went in motion, somebody jumped.
Offside against Nashville.
So 5-yard penalty against the Scrappers moves it to the 24-yard line now. It'll be third and about 8 yards to go for the Cobras. Garner brings the play in for the Cobras. Ball is on the left hash mark. Clock running. 6:45 left in the third. Offset backs once again. Wing right, split into the left. Wants to throw it. Throws it up in the air. Intercepted by Torrin Haney and fell down at the 30. Boy, did he go way up in the air for that. Tried the fly pattern to Garner. A little fade is really what it was. And Torrin Haney, just playing center field, leaped high in the air, and he's got some good hands, folks. Good job.
I believe that was Chris Benson also that put the pressure on the quarterback. Just as he released the ball, Benson was there to hit him. Haney went high up in the air and caught that ball, and great interception.
It certainly was, Rick. Good job by Torrin Haney. So Nashville.
Boy, if he had just kept his footing, that would have been in the end zone, wouldn't it?
All right, Brandon Arnold, your Scrapper quarterback. Ball on the right hash mark, slot left. Arnold wants to throw. Fly pattern. throws it way up in the air and overthrows everybody. Garner had the best attempt at catching it, and he's a defender. That was in the end zone.
New quarterback is series number 7, Brandon Arnold.
And a host of, I take it back, not a host of new players in there. Still looks like the same bunch, just Arnold in there. That was Clark, the intended receiver, however. For the Scrappers, number 10, Brian Clark. He'll check out in the slot on the left side. Jason Pope is the flanker. Split backs, Arnold up under center. Oh, a little bobble there. Charles Green flies over the left side, picks up about 3 on the play.
61, Mason Tillery.
Tillery on the stop at the 28-yard line. That's only about a 2-yard gain. I gave him 3, but that's not right. And it'll bring up 3rd down now and 8 yards to go. Clock running, 6 minutes left in this ball game. In the 3rd quarter. Boy, it seems like it's been a long 3rd quarter. Slot to the left side, ball on the right hash mark, split backs again. Arnold wants to screen it, and he throws it up in the air, and boy, did he get leveled. I mean, he got leveled. Tried to screen it to Charles Green on the right side, but it might have held it a little bit long. I'm not sure, Rick. Never set up well at all. Well, Scrappers will have to go for it on 4th down. A little bit too far to kick it, and that's just kind of adding a little insult to injury when you do that, I guess, anyway. But Scrappers are going to go for it on 4th down and 8 at the Fountain Lake 28. Scrappers leading 40-0. 5:50 now left in the 3rd period. Slot left, ball on the right hash mark. Split backs, Arnold again wants to throw. Throws it out, almost intercepted, and threw it behind Pope. So the ball will go over on downs now with 5:45 left in the 3rd period. That's at the Fountain Lake 28-yard line. So the Cobras have just about had 3 and out, or 1 or 2 and a fumble or something. Not many plays, and they only had about 13, 14 yards of total offense in the first half. Did they?
And here in the second half, Charles, they're minus 1 yard net as far as offense in the second half.
Love that orange crush. I formation. Castleberry wants to hand off on the delay to Ochsner. Breaks a tackle to the 30 and slung back at the 30. They'll mark him the 31.
Gets the ball to the 30-yard line.
That'll be about a 2-yard gain.
Leon Griffith.
Got it just barely across the 30. Going to give him a good spot. We'll give him a 3-yard gain, Rick. He got about a half a yard on the spot. He may need it. Clock running. 40-0 Nashville. Oh, I tell you what, Scrappers trying to get it all together. I formation. Split in left, wide receiver right for the Cobras. Castleberry stumbles again. Ochsner hitting the backfield, gets loose. Scrappers missing him, and Scrappers miss him again. He could go. Scrappers trying to catch him, and they'll run him down at the 25. Boy, they had him hemmed up in the backfield. He got loose, and then Scrappers had to run him down from behind. Mark it the 24-yard line of Nashville. Good run by Ochsner. And I believe that was Jordan that ran him down, Rick.
45 yards on the pickup as they mark it at the Nashville 24. So Ochsner now with 51 yards on the evening.
That's more than they've had the whole ball game. One play.
You bet you.
I say. All right, ball is on the left hash mark. Clock running now, 4:43 left in the 3rd. I formation again, same as ball. I thought it was a bad snap. Castleberry trying to pick up yardage on the sneak, and he'll pick up across the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Looks like McCullough on the stop for the Scrappers. It looked like he bobbled that snap, Rick. I'm not sure if that was a design quarterback sneak or what, but he didn't look like he had a good handle on it there for a moment. He'll pick up about 6 yards on that, however, all the way to the Scrapper 18. They'll send their split in to the right, flanker left. Castleberry hands off to Dugan, hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. As he tries to go off tackle on the right side, McCullough and Westfall in on the play for the Scrappers. Hit him high and hit him low. that's the way to go, Scrappers. Orange Crush doing a job tonight on defense. 3rd down and 4. Clock still running. 3:30. I formation again. Castleberry on the delay. Oxner tries to get outside. He does. Got him a 1st down. He's at the 10-yard line. They'll mark him at the 9-yard line. Same play as a moment ago, it looked like. Little delay. Rusty Steele has to hem him in at the 9. And also along with Torrin Haney. And they're catching the Scrappers on the misdirection a little bit. Scrappers just reacting awfully quick, and the misdirection's working a little bit for them. And if Scrappers go and they get very deep into the playoffs, they're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff, because those the really good teams are able to execute those kind of plays. I formation. Castleberry up under. Delay again. Oxner floats outside. Could score. Touchdown for the Cobras.
That's a 9-yard run for Oxner to go in for the score.
9-yard run for Oxner. And that comes with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in the 3rd period. That's a pretty good drive right there.
72 yards in 6 plays, and again, the scoring came on a 9-yard run by Oxner.
And we got a little limping going on out there by somebody. Let's see, who is that limping? I can't tell which one that is. Looks like Torrin Haney hurt his hand. And we're waiting the point after. They're going to go for 2. Down 42-6. I understand that. Lone setback is Oxner. That may be the best play on the delay. Oh, they're going to just throw him for a big loss. Good job by the Terminator. Toe Terminator, he's not going to have any of that. Andrew Westfall throws him for a huge loss on the 2-point attempt. Never had a chance to get it away. Scrappers lead 40-6 over the Fountain Lake Cobras. 3:13 left in the 3rd. Back in a moment.
They've got it wedged in a pine tree. And I can promise you that it's about I'll tell you what, I bet that's almost a 75-degree angle.
Well, I hope we don't lose old Cliff Petty. He's right here in front of us here in the deer stand. And Petty, I'll tell you what, he's on the perch out there.
On the mountainside.
He's on the side of that mountain. If the pine trees don't stop him, and listen, those are really not trees, they're saplings. And we were just talking about that. Cliff has got the monitor for the camera hung up in a pine tree down there, folks. We got some real engineering.
If it starts rolling, no, that thing's not going to stop it.
Real engineering right here. I'll tell you, well, could it be an onside kick? Probably a squibber like they've done earlier. 40-6, our score. Scrappers with the lead. We're at home, folks, next week. Well, they try it again. It goes up in the air. Scrappers better get on it. Willie Scott on the return from the 30. This time he don't have much room, and they're going to hem him in at about the 28 or 9-yard line. He tries to go across the field, and looks like a host of them over there. Drew Oxner, I think, finally got him. And we're going to call it the 28-yard line of Nashville. And that may be the worst field position of the night for Nashville, Rick. Let's look back. Yeah, it is. 38 twice was the worst. And those are once at the Scrapper 46. Here we go. Offset back, or excuse me, split backs for the Scrappers. Arnold up under center, hands off. Tackled at the 30 by a host of defenders. Jim Toller making the stop for the Cobras. Anderson also in there.
On the 29-yard line.
If they've got an Anderson. I just threw that name out there, folks. Nobody but me would know that if I hadn't said it. Anyway, here we go. And split backs again. Wants to throw. Complete to Pope. Upfield close to the first down marker. And Arnold to Pope. Good pass by Arnold. And I believe it's going to be enough for the Scrapper first down. It is. Stopping the clock with the movement of the chains. It'll be a first down at the 39. That's the Scrapper 39. Ball is on the left hash mark. It'll be Clark and Pope. Wide to the right side. In the slot will be Nick Anderson for the Scrappers. Arnold, hands off, up the middle. Trying to break a tackle, get outside. That's going to be Jamone rather, Johnson. And he'll get to about the 45. Hard running by Jamone. Tackle made by John Oxner, and he comes up limping just a little bit. And we have a flag. I think we're going to have a procedure penalty against the Scrappers. I thought I saw someone moving. Looks like Jamone might have jumped just a little bit. Officials working this out methodically. Nope. That wasn't the right call. Personal foul against the Cobras after the run. I did not see the flag there. The flag is all the way across the field. Play was right in front of the Cobra bench, but the flag was almost on the hash mark all the way on the other side of the field. Good eyes by the official. First down, Scrappers at the 40. That's the Cobra 40. Pope left, Clark right. Split backs, Anderson and Johnson. That's Jamone Johnson. Arnold up under center. Wants to screen it. Throws it out. Complete to Anderson. Cuts inside. Boy, if he'd have stayed outside, he'd have got some yardage. He cut it back inside. I'll tell you what, he had a blocker out there, and that was Chris Woodruff out there. Had the defender screened off on the outside, but he cut back inside, ran right into me, got about a yard and a half on the play. Well, we'll give him 2, Rick. What do you say? That's kind of the benefit of the doubt. We'll call it the 38. So second down at the Cobra 38. Clock running. 1:05 left in the third. 40-6 Scrappers. Pope right. Slot right. Split backs again. Arnold, hands off, up the middle. That's going to be Jamone on the carry. Gets across the 35, but I think they're going to mark him right on the 35. That little last effort reached the ball out there and got it to about the 34, but they're going to mark him back. Oxner on the tackle again. So it'll be third down, about 5 yards to go now for the Scrappers. A lot of players coming in now for the Scrappers. And Rick, as always, helping me.
Trying to tell you, we're counting it down. We got 22 seconds to go in this quarter.
Okay, slot right, split backs. And Arnold up under center. 3rd and 5, toss sweep, play clock ran out. Scrappers are going to get a 5-yard penalty, Rick. Rick putting that on his wheel over there so he can figure out what 5 yards is. The wheel is like a little computer, folks, in case you want to know what that is. It's a mechanical computer. Oh, Rick's having a good time tonight, folks.
He's worked me over tonight.
I have not done
Caught me at a weak moment. I've missed David Earl. I needed some help.
We had a fill-in for him, though, a moment ago.
Yeah, got those first half stats.
Yeah, very fast.
He didn't have a computer, though.
No, he didn't. Slot left. 3rd and 10 now for the Scrappers back at the 40. Scrappers, the play clock ran out again, and again another penalty. Okay, 2 in a row. So back us up 5 more yards. This may be in the design of things. What do you think, Rick?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, we're hurrying now. We're right up to the line of scrimmage and got 20 seconds to go now. We're going to get this one off. Toss sweep, Jamone gets outside, put his head down, and didn't get much, maybe a couple. Boy, he did put his head down. He punished Dugan. I think, no, that was Oxner. He punished Oxner when he turned that corner. Oxner knew he got hit. 4th down. That will be the end of the 3rd quarter, however, with that play. 40-6 after 3. We'll be back with the 4th and final period in just a moment. You might want to watch the scoreboard after the game tonight, or listen to the scoreboard on the radio and find out if Huntsville wins tonight. If Huntsville wins, we will be playing them. I think there's a chance we might play someone like Berryville or something like that. Do you think maybe, Rick? Maybe not. We're not exactly sure. Huntsville is supposed to be our next opponent in the playoffs, that is, to start the playoffs. 4th down now. Scrappers are going for it. 4th and 15 from about the Scrapper the Fountain Lake 44-yard line. Split back, slot right. Arnold wants to throw. Got time. Wings it downfield, complete. Oh, he had a 1st down and he went the wrong way. Oh, no. Oh, he had him a 1st down trying to pick up more yardage, and I'm not sure if he's going to have it. I think he's going to be very close to it, and it just depends on the spot. I don't think he's going to get a good spot. Let's see. Now, if he'd have just fell forward, he would have had the 1st down. I'm sure he didn't realize. But Pope on the reception, ball was right on the money by Arnold. And it was inches shy of the 1st down. Ball right in the, just inside the left hash mark for the Cobras. We'll call it the 30. That's the Cobra 30. I formation. And Oxner wants to get outside. He's hemmed in for a loss. Fast break defense by the Scrappers catch up with him. It's that little delay that's been hurting us. Mark him back at the 29. We'll call it a yard loss on the play. Yard and a half.
Whenever they've run the delay, Charles, they've really done a super job of coming up with some blocking. And they've done a great job blocking on that play.
Well, the wide stuff hadn't worked very well for them. Scrappers with way too much speed for them. They'll have their split in right, or left rather, and wide receiver right goes in motion. Toss sweep. That'll be Oxner. Tries to get outside, puts his head down, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Good tackle over there by the Scrappers. McCullough. Coming up also, I believe, on that play was number 43, Jeremy Ricks. Mark him at the 30. It'll bring up 3rd down now. Clock running. 10:45 left in this game. Scrappers leading 40-6. You heard it right, folks. 40-6. And here we go. Split in left, wide receiver right, ball on the right hash mark, I formation. Castleberry wants to throw. And he throws it, would you believe, out of bounds. Caught out of bounds. It was caught, but it was out of bounds to Garner. And Jeffrey Jordan covering him, and Jeffrey didn't have too much trouble because that ball was sailing out of bounds anyway. 4th down, and Dugan in to attempt a punt. It's been an adventure, to say the least. 2 snaps over the head of the Fountain Lake punter, and Fountain Lake gave up 4 points on that, and he'll get it away. End over end kick. Torrin Haney wants to field it. He'll field it on the run. 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He's going to score. 10, 5, touchdown, Torrin Haney. Torrin Haney, folks. He is like a hiccup or something. I don't know. He is quick as a hiccup at least. He is fast. When he fielded that thing on the bounce, he just cut straight up field. Coach Laird talking to him over there on the sidelines and patting him on the rear and giving him a good, you know, a little pat on the back, I guess is a better way to put it.
That's congratulations, yeah.
Well, actually, I mean the actual place he was hit, but the compliment was there. Saying, good job, young man, good job. Here we go, Stony Ray kicks it, looks good, and it is. Scrappers now lead 47-6. 10:09 left in the ball game. Back in just a moment.
Nashville 47, Battle Lake 6.